Hi, this is Stacey Reed here with I've Decided, the My Community Show. And today, or this week rather, is the word on cherish is what we're talking about. And I'm excited to have Matt here from the Children's Home. Thanks for coming in
Well,
and
thanks for having me.
chatting with us about the word cherish. And actually, we were going to have Jamie Harwood in as well. And unfortunately, he couldn't make it due to other.
Well, you got me the whole time.
That's
Then I'm
right.
good. I'm
That's
good.
right. We're good. So anyway, so welcome to the show, and we look forward to talking about the word cherish.
Yeah.
And so we hadn't seen each other in a while.
I
It's
know
good
it.
to see
It's
you.
great seeing you too.
Yeah, last time was at Holt,
That's right.
and I couldn't believe you said it's been 5 years. You've
5 years.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's right.
So do you love where you're at and
I
what you're
love it.
doing? That's so cool.
It's a staple in this community. Children's Home's been around 153 years.
Is
And
that right?
think about this. Children's Home was founded in 1866. So when you look at how far Children's Home's gone since then, but if you go back to 1866, it was 9 months after Abraham Lincoln was assassinated.
Oh my word!
So
To think that.
think about that there was an actual need in
that
1866 for what we're doing now. We're obviously much bigger now, but the need was still there.
Absolutely.
That's right.
That is crazy. That is awesome. So you have, and I didn't realize this, a few years back, but you have several even facilities. It's not just the Knoxville campus. Am I right?
That's
Do you
right.
have,
We have 6 main locations, and then we own houses throughout the community where
Okay.
our transitional living kids are at, and they're staffed 24/7. But when they hit a certain age, usually around 18, the goal is to become a productive tax-paying
Sure.
citizen. And when you look at trying to get into the community and living life to the fullest, the word cherish comes to mind. But we're a very, very large company. Nobody really realized that we're a top 12, 13 employer in the whole area.
oh my word.
Yeah, we have 450 plus employees,
I had no
1,700 kids a month flow through our agency, 53
phenomenal.
4 programs. So it's a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, when we talk about this word and we talk about it, both career-wise and personal-wise, what comes to mind when you talk about cherish? Because I mean, I think I look back at myself and I think it's, as you go through seasons of your life,
Yeah.
that word cherish probably changes a little bit
Well, it
each
becomes
time,
more
don't you think?
meaningful.
Absolutely.
I mean, the older
Absolutely.
you get,
Yeah.
the more you
You
realize.
value things a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
I have personally, I have 5 kids, and, my oldest daughter is getting her master's right now. She graduates here. I have another daughter who graduated from Iowa. She's 22 just this last Saturday. And, a tear does come to your eye because you sit here and you always heard your parents say, where does time go? But now you're that parent, and
The truth.
you sit there and you just watch, and you're just not only proud, but you do want to cherish that time and those moments, and with all of your family and kids, and so I'm looking over, my mom was there, and my dad, who they're in their 70s now, and I don't picture them being in their 70s. I'm creeping up on 50, and I don't feel 50. But it's real.
Right.
And so I think
Right.
cherish is a special word, and that's just the personal piece of it. But there's your
Right.
job and people you work with there, and the mission
Yeah.
of what you do.
Absolutely.
I think there's a lot.
There's a purpose for it.
There's a purpose.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I just became a grandma, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, so my daughter, and honestly, I'm married and have a blended family going on, so I have two grandkids that I inherited, and
awesome.
absolutely cherish them,
Cherish.
and claim them as grandkids as well. So I don't want to make short of that, but to actually have one of your own,
Yes.
have their first child has been really cool to see, and to watch her go through her first Mother's Day, and that kind of thing.
Special.
Yeah, absolutely. And you definitely, and I think you go through different things in life, she had had a miscarriage before having Xander, and that I'd never experienced that or been around really even somebody who my sisters or I have not ever had that,
Yeah.
and so you just really it brought that word to mind
Yeah.
definitely as she gave birth to a healthy little guy. So
Well, that's special, and congrats.
thank you.
The word cherish to me, I use it all the time with our team at Children's Home. We have out of that 450. I mean, you have to be special to work in social service, not just Children's Home, in social service.
Sure.
And I talk about having compassion and passion. You have to have the passion for your job. You have to get up. I wake up every day. I'm ready to run through a wall. I know I'm that voice for those kids
Yeah.
and our team.
Absolutely.
I look at our team and I think to myself, I'm tasked with taking care of not only them but their families. And then you look at the 1,700 kids that come in. That's the passion that you have for the job, but it's also the compassion that you have. So
Yeah.
I'm proud to be. I know I'm just a small piece of Children's Home. When you've been around 153 years, you'd have a pretty big ego if you think you are the guy
Children's
or
Home.
whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but at the same time, I also know I'm the voice.
Yeah.
And I'm good with that because I think I can relay that passion and tell a story. I think more people need to tell stories about what they do. It's what people want to hear. It's stats are fun, and I love stats, but to really make it real,
Right.
it's special.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's cool. My mind as you're talking is like just going a
Yeah.
mile a minute. But I tell you, I went. My husband and I took the foster care class, and I'm trying to think. I want to think it was Lutheran Social Services.
Yeah,
Would that be
they
right?
have
Okay,
that.
so we took the class, and some of my family, even my kids, were like, "I don't know how you would ever." Foster care,
Yeah.
you would get attached,
Right.
so quickly. And how do you, because the goal is that these kids get back home and they're back with their families. And it wasn't honestly, and I haven't done it, so I don't know. That would be hard. But at the same time, I also think during that class, I was thinking one of our instructors, and we just talked to Tim Johnson about this before we got on air, but one of our instructors had fostered many kids, and I can't remember the number, but it was a
It's a
lot.
lot.
And I said, I had never thought about it, but your goal and your mission is to make a difference and make an impact,
It-
and then and you may be called to a different make a difference. That person's ready to
right.
stand up and go back, but now somebody else needs you.
Yeah, and then when you go through the class too, it may not be for you.
Right.
It's not for everybody.
True.
I always think foster parents are extra special because you're getting kids that are having trouble with their families,
Right.
or some kids are in the system, or some kids are have been abandoned or abused. There's a lot of different things that
Going on.
takes that path. Some kids have disabilities. The sad thing for me when I see this piece of it is a lot of people want to take care of the younger kids and the babies, but those babies grow up and they need someone to take care of them. And I think that's if there's some things that are not fair in
Yeah.
our system, it's that because
Yeah.
when a kid hits a certain age, and let's just say it's 15, 16, it's not as cute as having a newborn,
Right.
right? But they're about ready to make life decisions that could either take them down a very dark road or a very good road.
Sure.
And
Sure.
I think that's kind of my favorite age
Yeah.
is that 15, 16, 17 in that range because they're making crucial decisions. And I think that's where at Children's Home, our mission's to really take care of kids. But my personal saying is we change lives and save lives every day. And so you want to change those lives and have those kids go down the right path.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember, speaking of that, I remember it's been years ago that I sat in the living room and I was home with my kids, and I think it was like the Maury Povich show was on, and they had like this panel of kids that were, I don't even know, I'm going to assume they were like maybe foster care kids or whatnot, but they were that teenage,
Yes.
and they said, what's the one thing that you would love to have? And it was like to be loved by a parent, to graduate and look out and see somebody there representing me and
Right.
who's proud of me for
Right.
being there that day. And I'm telling you what, I was like just like sobbing,
Yeah.
thinking, and there's just this stirring in my heart that's like, I don't
Yeah.
know that I could ever feel like I don't have love for a child.
Yeah, and
It's
I think to work at a place like Children's Home, you have to want to be there. It's not a job; it's a calling,
yeah,
and it's not a job; it's a career. Because
right.
if it's not for you, you're better off going. I say this, probably shouldn't say this, but you're better off going to working at the mall or something,
So, right.
because these kids already have barriers there on trust. There's trust issues. So to forge that relationship with the child, whether you're a counselor, therapist, social worker, whatever it may be, it takes time.
Sure.
And you have to
Yeah.
be very patient and very special. We have people that work on our team that have been there 30, 40 years.
Wow.
We have someone that's retiring at the end of this year, 42 years.
Oh my
And that's a
goodness.
calling, right?
Absolutely.
That is a calling. And I think when you look at, talking about making you cry, I can make you cry right now with some stories
I
because
bet.
there's good and bad.
Hmm.
I think about the times from my youth farm days over a decade ago, and I merged youth farm into children's home. And so it's kind of come back full circle for me personally. But those days, I still have kids call me. So I have a young man
Wow.
who calls me on Father's Day. I have kids that contact me still for advice, and they're in their 30s now or early
Oh,
30s. And
how?
so,
Yeah.
and it's special.
Yes.
I had one of the boys called me and has not been in jail for a decade. That's a goal.
Yes.
Because
Absolutely.
when you're on the street, when you're homeless at times, when you're going through that process, it's hard.
Hmm.
And so just to have someone there, that's why I give out my cell phone all the time. And I take calls at all times because these kids, these people, my team, I'm here for them. It's my job to take care of them and take care of this community. What it comes down to is it always comes down to community.
Hmm.
You have to love your community and take care of it. And we need more people in our business to reach out and get into our business, number one,
Hmm.
but then get there for the right reason and be compassionate about it.
I'm so glad you just said that because I literally wanted to say, like, I literally wanted to take this show and we're winding around the corner to a perfect segue of how do you make a difference? How do you not necessarily just make a difference, but how do you take the word cherish and you decide that I'm going to do something to make an impact and do that? You know what?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think we all cherish something and things and people and
Right.
we all do that. But if you're going to say, you know what, I want to take this a step further and I really want to make an impact and a difference and how in your community and when we're talking children's home, tell us about that
Well,
because
cherish
you
the
probably have volunteers
Well,
and
we have
like
thousands of volunteers. Our board members are volunteers. We have two boards, our foundation, our trustees. There are so many people that want to do things. It's not just writing a check.
right.
It's not just volunteering. It's caring. It's caring about the neighborhood. So our big building, our iconic building on Knoxville,
Yes.
that building's been there a long time. And the neighborhood that surrounds us is special to me. It's special to our employees. We have some employees that live in this neighborhood.
Sure.
And it is our job to take, whether it's picking up litter,
Yeah.
whether it's making sure you hold the door, simple manners, whether you have a responsibility to take care of this community. I truly believe that. And I think you have to cherish and love where you live.
Right.
And
Right.
there are so many little things that you can do.
Yeah.
Because I have people come to me, I can't donate at this time because I ask a lot.
Sure.
I can't donate at this time, but what can I do? Write a kid a birthday card.
Yeah.
We have a group of women that make cupcakes for the kids at Youth Farm on their birthdays.
How
We have
neat.
people make blankets. We have at holiday time 2,000 people adopt kids and fill their wish lists. We have people that come out and do landscaping at one of our. There are 1,000 things
Yeah.
you can do. And I'll say this because when I talk community, I'm not talking just children's home. I'm talking about taking care of the neighborhood that you live in,
Yeah.
taking care of the kids that are around you, and respecting your environment.
Absolutely.
And I think we lose focus a lot on the word respect, cherish, compassion, and passion.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that. We, my husband and I do a mission trip each year to the Dominican, and one of the things that, it's really opened my eyes to is how much we take for granted. I mean, just even you're right. I mean, just simple things.
Yeah.
I mean, and just the fact that we just don't appreciate. I mean, there's a lot of times where I think it really makes me want to simplify and really take moments because I just think we're just
Yeah.
we're just busybodies, and I'm so guilty. I mean, I'm so guilty
I
of
don't
being
think
busy,
you
busy.
feel.
But
I don't agree with feeling guilty. I don't think you need to feel guilty. I think people need to act.
right,
Because I don't. Whether you have $1 million or whether you have $1,000 really is irrelevant because people are people.
Right.
And I don't care what color your skin is or who it is. You have to take care of people.
Right.
And I think that's the message that I talk to
Yeah.
our team about.
Right.
Take care of each other.
right,
You have no clue what's going on in my life right now, and I have no clue what's going on with yours, and that's who's working right next to you. So
Yeah.
they may be in crisis themselves, helping a child in crisis.
yeah,
Be compassionate.
Absolutely.
Understand what's going on, and I
Yeah.
think that gets lost in the translation sometimes.
right, right,
Right.
yeah, yeah. Walk in each other's shoes instead of just
exactly
in the
right.
shoes you're in. So
Exactly
yeah,
right.
absolutely.
This is a giving community,
right.
so there needs to be more, though. There needs
Very
to be
cool.
more. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate our times winding down, and I want to, I guess, encourage if you joined in midstream our words cherish and jump back out and listen to our conversation. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to
Well,
you
thank
today.
you.
Thank you so
Anytime.
much for your message, and so to get out to the children's home and lend a hand or find your talent and use it.
Find your
You
talent.
know,
That's
find
right.
your talent and use it because we were all given something, so use
right.
it. So
That's right. Well, thanks for having
anyway,
me.
thanks,
Yep,
Matt.
thank
I
you.
appreciate it, and thank you all for joining. You can catch us on Facebook at ivedecided.org website as well. So have a great day. Thank you.